Okay there. Thank you for that thumbs up. I appreciate you. Whoever that is. Someone genuine, I hope. Thank you for that thumbs up. I appreciate you. We're moving with the purpose. One step at a time, one foot in front of the other. We keep moving forward. It's okay to move backwards as well. Backwards as well. As long as it's for a good reason. It's okay to move forward, backward, sideways, whichever way you need to move in order to reach your goal. But move with the purpose. You have not exercised before, whether it's cardio or weight resistance, make sure that you consult your primary health care provider, your doctor, your nurse practitioner, your physician's assistant, your psychologist, your psychiatrist, because they are needed, okay? Your primary nurse. If you just go to a nurse, such as a nurse practitioner, but a registered nurse, someone, consult somebody. Make sure you take into account your health issues. If you have no health issues, God bless you. God bless you whether you do or you don't. Hey, Lawrence. Hey, bro. Welcome into the live. But you want to always consult and contact them, communicate with them, keep the lines of communication open, because any one or combination of those people that I just named, that's your healthcare team. That's your football team, your basketball team, your baseball team, right? But you are your biggest advocate. You know how your body feels. Do not lie. Be honest with your healthcare team. And hopefully they will be honest with you, because that's what they're supposed to be. They're supposed to be honest with you. You know your limitations. Competing with people you don't know puts your body at risk for injury, because you don't know what they can do. Fortunately, some people have enough sense not to try to do the things that they know that they can't do. They just try to replicate you in other ways. But don't replicate, don't duplicate, because you can only be you, right? There is no other you, and there is no other person who you would like to duplicate. The person that you're trying to duplicate, that's only one of them. So don't put your body at risk, your mind at risk, trying to compete where you don't compare, trying to keep up with the Joneses or the Carters or whoever. Be you, maintain your consistency, and the more you do, the more you'll want to do. Thank you, Hector. Thank you, Lawrence. Tell them, tap that screen. I appreciate you. You can be anywhere else, and I'm sure you guys are doing a lot, because what do we do as Americans, especially, as anybody, wherever? Something we do sometimes we don't even think about it is multitask, right? So we multitask. We can walk and chew gum at the same time, right? Can you? So we can walk and talk for so many reasons, right? But if you cannot walk and talk, just walk. Walk. Walking is the most important component. Too many people are not listening to themselves as they walk and talk. It is okay to be a little winded, maybe even a little out of breath. But you should listen to yourself, listen to your body. Pay attention to how your body feels, and pay attention when it talks to you. So we're walking and talking, but your body is also talking to you. Where am I walking to, Hector? I'm just walking for exercise. I exercise daily, and in the evenings, we just walk. Like, we don't have to show off the steps that we get, because in my field, my career, we probably hit 10,000 steps by noon, okay? We probably do that by noon. So this evening walk is a good addition. It's a good addition to the 10 to 12,000 steps we've already hit today. That's why I don't have to always wear a watch or wear my Fitbit, because I already know. I already know what I've done. So we're over here just walking for fitness, because they say that your health is your wealth, right? Well, anyone who knows me, I say that your health and your fitness are your wealth, because your numbers can show you healthy as a raging bull, right? Your numbers can show you as being healthy as a raging bull. But how do you feel? Are you always trying to park right at the door when you go to Wally World or Walmart or wherever you shop? Food Lion, wherever you shop, are you always trying to park right at the door? Or do you just park wherever you can and walk? Get that exercise in. How many? Oh, I already answered your question, Lawrence. Thank you guys for the thumbs up. Thank you guys for stopping by, whether you're stopping for a few minutes, first of all, a few seconds, a few minutes, or a portion of the live. I appreciate you. Again, we have to multitask, right? So thank you for allowing me to be a part of your task, a part of your multitasking, for however long that you allow that to be. Yeah, because you know, about, depending on how you walk, about 10K steps is about 5 miles, I think it is. But, you know, that's not always true, because some people walk like this, you know. Some people walk like this, and some people walk like this, right? So it varies. It just depends. It just depends. And that determines how long it takes you to get those steps in as well. So since we, by the grace of God, if you can walk, if you're moving around every day, I really don't, a lot of times, even try to count the steps that I'm making. The important thing is that you're making steps, period, right? I think for some people that's like validation or something. Like, see, I did these many steps. That isn't validation for me. Validation for me is just knowing that I did the steps, period. For those who used to exercise and haven't in a long time, well, you still walk around or whatever. You know that you can get the steps in. So just getting them in for an hour consistently, to me, that's key. Some people choose to do 30 minutes, 45 minutes. But listen, if you haven't done it in a while, if you've never really exercised consistently, 15 minutes is good. Because you got to start somewhere. 15 minutes is good. And in case you're pressed for time, hopefully you'll at least get 10 in. If you didn't do anything this past week consistently for 10 minutes, and you decide to walk today for 10 minutes, you've made gains. You've made gains. I walk faster. Yeah, because we move with the purpose over here. Right? See, a lot of times it's not about what you say. It's about what you do. Hector. Let me see. Are you close to, are you in Chicago, Hector? Hector, are you in Chicago? Hold on, y'all. Okay, Hector, I'm in the United States. I could be in Chicago probably within 4 hours, but I'm in the United States. Where are you, Hector? Lawrence, he be like, let me tell you something about some men. I'm not going to say all men, because you're a man, and you can attest to this, or you can tell me what you think. When women are in a hurry, men walk slowly. Or when, I'm talking about they walk slowly, but when men are in a hurry, or when it's not even necessarily something to be in a hurry for, they move fast. What is that about? That's how he is. That's how he is. I'm like, when there's no rush, like if we go to a sporting event, oh, and we're early, he's moving. But if we go to maybe Sam's Club, he's in slow motion. He's in slow motion. And I'm like, okay, so when it's something, I guess, that's exciting or important, that's when men move fast. If they don't consider it important, they're kind of lackadaisical. The faster you move, the slower we move. Slower we move, slower we move, the faster you use. Yep, that sounds about right. Like we always got to be the opposite, don't we, Lawrence? We always got to be the opposite. So you are from Chicago, Hector? I hear you. I hear you. Oh, y'all hear that? Oh my God. Woo! Lawrence, I would show you that. Oh my God. I would show you that vehicle, but I'm not one to show people stuff on social media. I really don't believe in doing that. But it's so noisy that it almost warrants me showing it to you. When I tell you that is the result of his muffler. The muffler is hanging. The muffler is hanging down, okay? And he has it tied. And what in the entire world? I just gotta look at this. Oh my gosh, the muffler is hanging. If he don't go somewhere with that, I mean, it is just, and he's on the phone. He's on the phone. His muffler is hanging. He's driving everybody crazy. Everybody is just stopping and looking. Listen, this tells you how much I know about cars, right? I hadn't heard a muffler sound like that in so long. So if you asked me, I would say cars didn't have mufflers anymore. Thank you for the hearts. You see me rolling. Lawrence, I mean, I'm like, can you please park? Can you please park that car? Because I haven't heard a muffler like that since I don't know when. I haven't heard a car need a muffler that bad or have a muffler sounding that horrible in a very long time. And you are right. We hear him rolling. We hear him, we see him. We see and hear him rolling. Picture that. But yes, guys, I hope that you have gotten your hour of cardiovascular aerobic activity in. If you have not gotten an hour, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, whichever one is good for you. If you need to rest, you need to slow down and you need to stop and rest. So whichever one you need to do, whether it be slow down or stop and rest. do so, all right? If you need to slow down, slow down. If you need to stop, stop. Whichever one you need to do it. You know, take you some deep breaths in and out, in and out, and start back, okay? Start back. And if you need to start back the next day, that is fine as well. If you need to start back the next couple of days, that is fine. Remember, sometimes if you're not used to doing activity for an hour at a time, non-stop consistently, or even 30 minutes at a time, sometimes you need to get into it gradually. You don't have to do it every day. That's why I always say about 3 days a week is sufficient. About 3 days a week is sufficient. Hold on a second, I'm about to have to address Hector. Hold on. Lawrence, I don't know if you're still here, but I'm about to have to address Hector. Hector, when you enter the chat, it says to protect your privacy and to protect this, that, and the other, and the third, and the fourth, and fifth. So why are you asking me 1,000 questions? Okay, okay, Lawrence. See, when you come into the chat and you're inquisitive, that's one thing. But when you're asking a lot of questions that you don't need to know, because you don't know me, when people who know me, who come here often, don't ask those same questions, that gives stalker vibes. We got enough stalkers on the line, online anyway. They come through here, watch and see, pull up everything you do and say, scoop it up, go and try and regurgitate it, or go to their channel and try to imitate or duplicate it. And sometimes they just nosy as hell. So heck, are you just nosy as hell? Are you just nosy as hell? I'm just trying to figure out. Sometimes they be trolling. Sometimes you got good trolls. Sometimes you got bad trolls. Are you a good troll? Because I've never seen you before. You're asking a lot of questions for someone I've never seen before. People be sending people out to talk about things they don't know what they're talking about. So I'm trying to figure out what's going on. He's talking about the muffler. Now, let me see. Hey, Linus, that is kind of interesting and funny. The muffler in my Nissan just fell 2 days ago. Hector, what is Hector? Hector. Hector, I think you're trolling. Hector, be polite. We don't do personal questions. Thank you, Lawrence. Chill and enjoy the live. I appreciate you, Lawrence. Thank you. So, Hector, I hope you heard my moderator, okay? Because he is absolutely right. And whatever my moderator has said stands, okay? Hector says that his muffler fell down 2 days ago. Well, Hector, I hope it doesn't sound like that. Because I'm not going to lie to you, I haven't heard a muffler sound like that since I was a little girl. Since I was a girl. Thank you, Lawrence. I appreciate you. See? Like my bros know when to be here, right on time. Right on time. And that's why I like a small chat. Because we ain't worried about no dimes and pennies over here. We worry about networking with the people we truly want to network with. We're not worried about strangers and millions of people watching you and making you their daily pleasure, their guilty pleasure, or whatever pleasure. Okay? I don't do motivational speaking over here. We used to do that, but what we do is we encourage you. Hopefully you've motivated yourself. Hopefully someone that you know and love who truly cares about you has motivated you. And first and foremost, get your motivation from God, right? Pull yourself up by the bootstraps, the shoestrings. And once I see you doing that, as far as social media goes, my thing is to encourage you to keep doing what you're doing that is conducive to you being a productive individual. Okay? Hey, Lawrence, I'm being respectful. Don't be just Hector. You know Lawrence can like just get you out, right? Right? You're not being nasty, Hector, but you're asking a lot of questions. And people have reasons for asking a lot of questions. Sometimes you're trolls. A lot of times it's the people who want to be in your chat or who used to be in your chat. And they just can't get enough of you. Just can't get enough of you. Because let me tell you, I check those people out. I don't watch them to give them long views or long minutes and stuff like that, but I do check them out because I check them out to see if they're still passing or failing the test. You know, and it's not that you're giving the people a test. A lot of times people set themselves up for tests. They give themselves a test, right? And sometimes you can give them a test. And it's like, sometimes they'll pass it, sometimes they fail it. But after a while, you figure they'll just stop taking tests, right? I mean, that's why you graduate. You're done now. Move on. Get the hell on. No need for me to be taking tests. You're not affiliated anymore. We're not affiliated with each other anymore. So stop coming over here and then giving yourself a test, and then I look and check you out and you failing the test. I apologize. I was just trying to get to know you better. I appreciate that, Hector. You don't have to leave. We just want you to you know, just participate. Tell us what you do. Like you talked about the muffler. What's going on that you tying up the muffler? I know times are hard. Not saying that you having hard times, but listen. Everything is going up. And sometimes people just have to do what they have to do. So tell us about you. Like what's going on with that, with the muffler. But we're not going to ask you anything personal, right? We're not going to ask you anything personal. Honestly, you can probably help somebody out, because if you fixed it, or if it's a temporary fix or whatever it is, I'm sure that somebody else, whatever one person is going through, they may feel like the only person going through it at that time. But believe me, whatever you're going through, there is somebody somewhere in this world going through it, through the exact same thing. They may be thousands of miles away from you, and they may not be going through the exact same thing, but the intensity of it is the same. The intensity of it is the same, you know? So tell us about you, or just engage in the conversation. Let us know if you like to exercise. Do you go to the gym? Do you work out? Do you make sure that you get cardio in 5 days a week? There's nothing wrong with cardio 7 days a week. But now when it comes to weights, resistance training, you want to give your muscles a day of rest. So if you do upper body, you know you got to let that upper body rest the next day, and do lower body. And then the next day you let the lower body rest and you do upper body. Right? So tell us some things about you. Lauren said, Hector, it's cool. I was just checking, make sure you are not trolling. Right. That's it, Hector. That's all. I don't know if you're still here, Hector, but Lawrence was just checking to make sure that you weren't trolling. And that's what moderators do, right? And I was checking to make sure that you weren't trolling. Lawrence, I think so too, Lawrence. I think so too. I think a lot of times that's bad on this app, especially. People say that other apps are bad, but I notice it more so, and they may be true, but I notice it more so on this app. People are very, very invasive. And from things I've seen, you have to be kind of careful about that, you know, because it's just the simple stuff that I do on here. It's like, damn, I can't do that in peace a lot of times. I be thinking like, so all this simple stuff that I do, basically focus around fitness. I'm glad that you're being more fit. I'm glad that you're trying to have a healthier lifestyle. But when it comes to content creators, I do some of the easiest, some of the most simple things that you can do when it comes to working out and fitness. But it's like some of them just don't, oh, Lion's doing, let me go do that. I'm like, so do you not have, are you really into fitness? Because if you were, you would know that there are so many things that you could be doing. You don't have to just come over here and think, oh, let me go do that. I get ideas from people all the time. But guess what? When I get the idea, I give them a shout out. Like Rock, Just Living. Every time Rock comes over here and she likes something, she's going to give you a shout out. If she decides to do it and it encourages her or gives her inspiration, she's going to give you a shout out. And she's not going to try to mimic you, right? She doesn't try to mimic people. And that's what I love about her. But you got some people on here that will try to mimic you. And it's like, huh? Like, so you didn't know nothing about this, but you're so into fitness, right? You're so into exercising. You're so into improving your body, your shape, your form, right? But you knew nothing about this piece of equipment, this particular thing, this particular way. You know, there's a thin line between obsession and flattery, all right? And sometimes people cross that line. Right, we ain't answering nothing to no personal questions because, oh, right. That feeds into other things, exactly. And they know that. They start out thinking, well, this is something simple. Where are you from? When people want you to know where they're from, they'll tell you, I'm from the United States. Okay? If I were from England, I would say I'm from England. And that should be it. That's enough. Then they'll start skirting around. And I'm like, you see mods in the chat. I can see if nobody was in the chat. Like, there are a lot of days when nobody's in the chat, or nobody's in the chat when a particular person comes through that I don't know. And they think, well, I'm going to ask this or I'm going to ask that. But the moderators see. And then I have moderators that don't say a word in the chat. Right? Then you have moderators who aren't moderators anymore, but they still come in and they let you know, hold up, that's going on. Because a lot of times people can't mod so much. You know what, Lawrence, this little blue thing called a wrench, that's another thing. People feels like a wrench gives them validation. I won't say it, they feel like it. Hell, the way they act, a wrench gives them validation. I'm like, give me a wrench, take a wrench. I don't care. like that's it shouldn't be a stressor, but sometimes people feel so stressed out by the blue wrenches that they feel like they have to be present every time a person goes live. Because to me, the wrenches are really just to handle the lives, right? The moderators. And they do great jobs. And I appreciate moderators, especially my moderators. That's why I always say I appreciate the content creators. Definitely appreciate my moderators who come through, right? But some people get these wrenches, and let me tell you, if they mod for certain big content creators or certain small content creators, and that wrench gets taken, man, they spaz out. Sometimes people just cleaning up their mods. They don't not cleaning them up because they did something bad. But sometimes if you never see a person, why you shouldn't want them to be modding. Why are they modding? Because they can mess with your comments. They can do a lot of things. If you never see them, doesn't mean anything bad. It means that maybe they're not interested in your content anymore. They're still a subscriber, right? They're still a subscriber. But as a content creator, you have that right to remove them. And if they get offended by that, then they are on here looking for a lot of things that they don't have going on maybe in their personal lives. Hector says, okay, Linus, I am not a troll. Okay, you taught me a valuable lesson, and not being nosy, I am a mechanic. Gotcha. See, that's why I started asking you about the muffler. Do a lot of little construction and landscaping this summer. Thank you for the lesson. Lauren says Hector is still with us, and I'm glad that he's still here because I really didn't get that he was, I didn't get that he was trolling. But y'all know what I always say. If a person is trolling, if he's a good troll, or if she's a good troll, I don't mind. Because they're here to interact with you. They're giving you a view. They're talking. A bad troll, we get them out. And that's why I didn't get Hector out. I wasn't familiar with him, and he's not familiar with me. So I can so appreciate him being a grown man about it. Like sometimes when you say certain things, and Hector, Lawrence, whoever catches this replay, you may be able to identify. When you say certain things about people, like Hector's over here getting to know us, but when you tell certain people certain things that you like or dislike, do you know they become offended? They become offended. And I'm not just talking about strangers. I'm talking about people in your day-to-day lives. I'm talking about people who you may interact with daily on social media. If they tell you something, right, and you disagree, or you say, well, that's not for me. I don't want to do it my channel this way. I don't like people doing this at my channel. That's your personality. That's who you are, right? Do you know they have the nerve to tell you it's not that serious? So it's not that serious for you because your journey is different. Your trip is different, right? The way you handle your channel is different. The way you handle yourself is different. The way you were raised is different. So be mindful of when you tell people it's not that serious. Maybe it's not that serious for you, but it could be that serious for them. And just because it's serious to them doesn't mean that they have an issue. You just have an issue not being able to boss somebody. You have an issue not being able to regulate other people. And those are the main people that I fear have issues at home or at church or at school or with the people that they communicate with in their families. They can't control them, so they come onto social media and they try to control other people, right? Hey, Joshua, welcome into the chat, Joshua. And I like to chat with a lot of men because as a woman, I'm trying to learn from men. I don't care how old you get, right? You're never too old to learn. And then we have men, we have women. A lot of times, men can use insight from women in the chat, right? As a female content creator, I appreciate having both men and women. And I especially appreciate when men come in who can contribute to the conversation. Because sometimes we can ask certain things, like with Hector, we can still ask certain questions and get personal insight from the answers that we receive, right? You don't have to tell people your business, but you can still get insight from, I can get insight from Lawrence. I can get insight from Hector. Hector is a mechanic. He does, what was it, construction, did he say? So I can come on here if I plan to make some home improvements and ask Hector some questions. So that's talking about my home, but it's still not too personal. So that's why I was hoping that we didn't run Hector off. Like, not you when I said we, Lawrence, I'm talking about me. But sometimes I just have to let people know how I am. And they take it or they leave it. But I think a lot of times people think that you have to take it because you're on an app. See, everybody's not on this app to try to get views, to try to make the check go up, to try to hope that they can hit a threshold to get a deposit around the 20th of the month or something like that. A lot of us are on here just to do what we like doing in our day-to-day lives. So I'm glad that Hector did not leave. And if you haven't subscribed, Hector, subscribe and come back, because we don't do a lot over here. I have shorts, right? Fitness shorts. Sometimes I'll throw some plants in there. Every now and again I'll throw in a little bit of food. But we mostly do fitness shorts. And then we come on here and we go live in the evening to do walk and talks. We walk and talk because walking and talking is beneficial for you for a plethora of reasons. If you cannot walk and talk comfortably, that is okay. The key component is the walking, the moving. Get moving and keep moving. Keep moving. Now, it doesn't mean don't take a break, right? Just like some people are moving from the time they get up in the morning to the time they get ready to go to bed. But somewhere in there, in between there, they take a little break. Even if it's not long, they sit down. So when you're exercising, same thing. If you need to, take a break. Take a break. Lauren says, yep, it's all good. Right. Lauren says, Hector, welcome in, brother. Joshua says he is changed for, I don't understand what Joshua's saying. Let me go see. Hector says, okay, I'm in control. Got that one. Landscaping. Okay, construction and landscaping in the summer. Thank you for the lesson. You're welcome, Hector. And see, he does a lot. And I can get a lot. Now Hector, don't look. If you come back, I might end up asking you a lot of questions. Especially about landscaping, and construction. Lauren says, I tried some of your exercises. I twisted up live. I twisted up live, old man. Get off that floor. Lawrence, listen. Let that floor be your friend. Okay? Let the floor be your friend. But also, let the wall be your friend. Okay? See, we drop nuggets over here. We drop nuggets over here in Lions Pride. That's what we do. Hector has been dropping some nuggets, letting us know some things about him. Lawrence drops nuggets. And that's why I said I like it to have a small chat, because we don't get too personal. We talk about adult things, and we understand that we have boundaries, okay? People have boundaries, and a lot of times boundaries are necessary to keep balance. And boundaries are bridges for balance, right? So don't think of a boundary as always that person just being closed off. A lot of times boundaries are bridges to balance, okay? Boundaries are bridges to balance, and we need balance. And I think a lot of times, especially when I first started going live, people was thinking, because I said, yeah, I'm about positivity. I'm always about positivity. But don't ever get it sweet and get it twisted and think that I don't peep negativity and call it out. Sometimes I'll peep it and call it out. Sometimes I won't call it out. Sometimes I'll just let it go and go. Because a lot of times whoever is pushing that negativity is not important to me, right? They're not important to me. There's like, I can count and tell you the people who are important to me. Everyone who comes through here on a good note, who's supportive, is important to me. But I'm talking about when people feel like you're supposed to just do what they say. Like, a lot of us don't even know each other. I would never expect Lawrence to do everything I told him to do. If Lawrence told us something in the chat and we're having a discussion, we're to give him insight and input to the best of our abilities. Now, if he says in this chat, well, I don't agree with that, so I'm not going to do that. Why would I get upset? Why would I get upset? Lawrence is my brother, and I'm trying to give him some insight. But everybody doesn't receive the same insight the same way. Or once you give it, you may not think it applies to you or your situation. That's just life. But that still doesn't mean I'm going to say, well, don't ask me anything else. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. That would be crazy. Some people expect for you to see things through their lenses. We all have eyes, right? We all have lenses. We have lenses. Those, we see through those. But we often see differently. I said, Lon's going to have me at the urgent care. What were you doing, Lawrence? Thank you guys for the 4 thumbs up. I appreciate you. I don't fuss about the thumbs up because, listen, whether you gave me a thumbs up or not, you came through here, right? And again, you spent a few seconds, a few minutes, maybe even a portion, maybe the entire live. Whichever one you did, I appreciate it. I appreciate the subscribers. I appreciate those who are just coming through. And I definitely appreciate my moderators and content creators who come through. And of course, we appreciate YouTube for allowing us the platform. So whether you're using the platform to network, whether you're using the platform to make money, or whether you're just using the platform to release, to get a break, to get some entertainment. Because see, a lot of people are too stuck on using the platform for money. You got to get your butt up and work. Get your butt up and work. And with all that work from home stuff going on nowadays, I know it's starting to kind of decrease. You guys know that working from home was something that a lot of people did pre-pandemic. And then, of course, when the pandemic came, working from home became a big thing. But now, there are very few people who are working from home as a result of the pandemic. Like if they were working in the field at first, and then they started working at home due to the pandemic, many of those people have gone back into the field or back into their brick and mortar, wherever they were. But there are still work from home jobs because, again, they existed before the pandemic, right? So if you don't like to get out and go to work, work from home. If you don't like standing, work from home. Now finding a job where you can work from home and get paid, that is work in itself. That's a hard task, right? But don't be coming on this app mad because everybody else ain't biting their fingernails wishing for views and subs like you are. That yoga stretch you do. Let me see. We be having a good time. Yeah, Lawrence, we be having a good time just walking and talking, just shooting the breeze. Just shooting the breeze. Like my grandpa used to say, shooting and swallowing. Okay. Shooting and swallowing, all right? Just shooting the breeze, just having a good time. Just to walk these 30 minutes to an hour. Just conversation to get us through walking these 30 minutes to an hour. And I'm glad Hector came back. And as you see, we're not mean over here. Like I try to talk to people when they do come through here and they do certain things that I don't like. Because see, they can go to another content creator and they'll be okay with that. But then, like Hector said, sometimes you can get a lesson because you'll be more careful because you may see the next 2 or 3 content creators and they're totally different from me. They don't think the way I think, and then you'll come into contact with another one who will. So just overall, generally speaking, we just, we learn lessons from each other. We learn lessons from each other. The yoga stretch you do. Okay. Which one? Is it the one with the yoga strap? I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think what yoga stretch I've done lately. I'm trying to remember if I use my blocks. I don't know. I don't know. Whichever one it is, Lawrence, you can do it, okay? You can do it. You just maybe need to do it slowly, okay? Do it slowly. You can do it. Do it slowly. And continue to do it routinely. You don't have to do it every day. But think about it. If you've never done it before and you only do it twice a week, that is improvement, right? So we're going to slow down a little bit because it's starting to get dark a little bit earlier. I know a lot of you guys in your area, you've probably noticed that it's starting to get dark a little earlier. So just because it's dark doesn't mean we don't exercise though, right? It doesn't mean we don't get out here and walk and talk, right? It's cool. It's nice in the evening. And I know a lot of times people prefer walking in the mornings because it's cooler and nicer, but I prefer the evenings. I've always preferred that for the past 3 or 4 years. Well, I've always preferred that, but as far as like on this app, I was doing the afternoons. I was kind of rotating, and I was just like, you know what? We do need the sun. We do need vitamin D, but regardless of your skin tone, color, or whatever, sometimes that sun can really burn. So we do need it. We need the vitamin D, right? But you don't want to burn too much. You don't want to burn too much because then different things, different situations can arise from that, right? So you don't want to burn too much. It's dark, really? See, it's dark here. There's just a lot of lights. I'm in a commercial area and there are a lot of lights. So that's why I'll walk at night. You know, that's never been a biggie for me. And that's another thing that a lot of people now want to, oh, well, I'm going to do it. Okay, whatever. And I only speak about people who used to come over here that are messy, okay? Can't stand you, but cop you. That's crazy. But you have to, and I did learn, like I said, my patience are short. So this app honestly has helped with my patience because a lot of things that I would have said stuff about a long time ago, it takes a lot for me to say something about it now. Or it takes like a repetitive situation to just keep happening and happening and happening. Whereas a lot of times it would be the first time I'd pop off or I'd say something, you know? But when you think about it, you gotta think about it. The people who try to cause trauma to you, or just pick, they in behind you. It's giving them pleasure to mess with you. So you already got something that they desire. You got something that they desire. You got something that they want to emulate. But they got mad because you picked that up. And I'm like, I'm here to encourage people to do anything. If I can encourage you to do something good and positive, that is a goal for me. That's fine. Whether it was a goal or not, that is fine for me. But no, I do not want you like you're walking behind me. Like I do not want you like you're walking behind me, because you got to think about it. These people are on here, a lot of people. All they think about is a view, how to increase their sub count. Well, let me do this. And they don't get an idea or two and go. They start to replicate you. That's why I always talk about the Stepford wives. And that's why I said there is a fine, thin line between flattery and obsession. And that's why I don't motivate, because people get obsessed. And then you got those people who get mad because you don't see things their way. We're all different. Some of us are going to agree. Some of us are going to disagree. And some of us are going to just be indifferent. Some of us are going to just be indifferent. What's going on, James Money 615? James Money 615 is a gamer. Y'all check him out. Check him out. Lawrence is a great supporter. So I haven't told you guys to check Lawrence out. Lawrence, are you ever going to do content? Whether you go live or not. Because y'all know definitely, I always tell you guys to check out my moderators, okay? So, and you know, if they're nice people, which my moderators are, go over there and support them. Because if they ever decide to start a channel or to start doing content, because we all have channels, then you know they'll have some support. They'll have some support. I won't let one person stop me from doing that. Now, I will always say that. If you see someone who's pleasant in the chat, great communication skills, whether they do content or not, they have a channel. Go subscribe. So if they ever do decide to do some content, they'll have a good start, right? So I encouraged somebody like that before, and it's almost like they wanted to become like, the best representation of you would be probably be a child. Like, I ain't birthed you, girl. Like, go on now. Like, So I won't let that stop me though from telling you guys, if you see content creators who come in here and they speak and they talk, please support them. And if you don't like their content, I can't make you like their content. But I encourage people to support good content creators. And when I say good, I mean those who have good messages. So, but don't ever get it twisted that because somebody is on positivity, that it's sweet to try to wring them out like a towel, okay? Don't ever get that twisted. I know, Lawrence, I appreciate that too. I appreciate you. I definitely appreciate you. And you know she does. Because she be looking for you, boy. She be looking for you. Are you thinking about it? Are you thinking about it? I hope he's still here, because sometimes he'll just come through and he'll say hello and he'll support that way. So James Money 615, if you're still here, Lawrence has a question for you. He's like, are you PlayStation 5 or Xbox? Which one are you, Lawrence? I think for a little while, most people that I talked to were Xbox, but lately I think they've been PlayStation 5. And some people are both. Some people are both. Most people in my family, they're both. They be fussing sometimes though. They get mad at one, they'll start fussing about it. And then they'll be like if they start something new or whatever, they'll be like, next thing you know, Xbox gonna start doing this junk. If Xbox does it first, they're gonna like, next thing you know, PlayStation is gonna do whatever. So some people have both. Like some people are, it's like whatever system is out there, they got it. Whatever system is out there, they got it. PlayStation, but I don't own the 5. Okay. Do you remember when that 5 first came out, how hard it was to get? Well, I'll say how hard it was for a lot of people. Some people, they may have gotten it like quick, but for some people, when that PlayStation 5 first came out, it was so hard for them to get that some people, they were like, some people I know, they were just like, well, I'll just wait until it's not in high demand anymore. Like they really wanted it, but they decided to wait until it wasn't in high demand anymore because they were getting stressed out like trying to get it. They were getting stressed out trying to get it. You got friends with it? Okay, so how do you like it? Do you prefer one over the other? I'll say that. Do you prefer one over the other? Yes, I do. People was paying. Right. Oh my gosh. Yes. Lawrence, they were paying like $2,000 for it. And I'm like, I don't know. Like, is it worth? It's just like, to me, it's kind of like a phone. Like, is it worth that much? I will say that with the games, they're more entertaining. They're more entertaining than a phone to me. Because I think phones have driven people crazy. Have driven people. Did I say have driving? I probably was thinking in my mind phones are driving people crazy, but to me, phones have driven people crazy. They have driven people crazy. But gaming systems, and I know some people may say, well, people go crazy on these games or whatever, but I would much rather have a friend who obsesses with their games than a friend who obsesses with social media. You have Madden? Okay, I got you. I would rather have friends who obsess over gaming systems and games than to have friends who obsess over social media. And now, gaming and social media goes hand in hand too. But most of the people that I know that really are really into gaming, they don't dabble with the social media aspect. They don't get all involved in that because that's like a two-headed lion. You know what? That's like an animal of a lion's head and a tiger's head. That's because when you see these gamers, man, on social media, some of them are just to themselves and they're just doing their thing. I think they're the most peaceful. They have the most peace about them, right? But then you have others who are like in these communities, and it's like they get to get into it with each other, they get to arguing with each other, and they can't even really enjoy being a gamer. I'm like, when are you going to enjoy being a gamer? Like, seems like you'll enjoy it better or more if you kind of left some of the social media aspect alone. So most of the people that I know, I have a few, they're in some of these, what is the one? It's one big one that gamers are on a lot. Like, what is that platform? I can't think of it. It starts with an S, if I'm not mistaken. It starts with an S. There's another platform that gamers are on, like, hardcore, and I cannot think of it. As soon as I get off this live, it's gonna come to me. But, a lot of times gamers just use it for relaxation. Now, I know they're here to stay. I still do believe in kids being outside. Kids, even if you're not outside a lot, like you don't necessarily have to be outside, but I believe in them being well-rounded. I don't believe in get home from school, do homework, and go straight to the game. I believe in a set amount of time on your gaming system, but then another set amount of time either outside or maybe even doing crossword puzzles or playing games, doing something else, not just those gaming systems. Like, I'm saving for a roof. Okay, and with the tariffs, it's going to be expensive, so I gotta wait a bit. I got you. They serious about the gaming for sure. Yes, they are. And you know what? Walmart just announced a price increase now. And all these big corporations are cowering to our administration. And it's not like they're cowering because they're really afraid of the administration, but at the same time, they're afraid of the administration. I mean, when you have a childish person who is supposed to be the leader of the country, who will call you out and say bad things about you because you don't want to go along, like with Amazon, when Amazon was showing those prices. Like, I'm like, come on, man. Come on, Bezos. Do what you want to do. He can't take your company from you. Like, there are some companies who don't depend on governmental assistance. There are some, even though most of them laugh at people who do, there are some companies who, look, they are way richer than he'll ever be because we know presidents usually aren't rich. They just hold a certain amount of power. And that's what he holds, power. So they're not really mad about the money, but he does have the power to control people's minds, especially people who aren't strong-minded. So they took that, they stopped putting those prices or whatever they were doing, on the items. But Walmart announced, and then what may not even be Walmart, but it was someone who knew about it because it got out to other states and their governors were talking about it. But they're going to have a price increase due to the tariffs. So people are running around talking about, well, the price increase isn't because of the tariffs. Well, of course not. We always have price increases every so often. But we're talking about these major price increases. You can tell yourself that they're not because of the tariffs if you want to. Most of the people who are saying that are the ones who went down there and pulled that lever, or they got their ink pen and voted the way that they thought was cool, the way that they thought would help them, the way that it's turning out to destroy them. They voted with him. So if I say if they voted with him, y'all know what I'm talking about, right? They voted with him. And so they don't like to admit that they made a mistake. They voted for him thinking he would hurt other people, right? See, sometimes you got to be able to afford financially, literally, and figuratively what you're voting for. No one person should be able to control everything. So we have a one-man show right now who is controlling the Supreme Court, who is controlling Congress. No one-man show should do that. And the sad part about it is that so many people gave him that ability. Now, there are a lot of people who think that Muskie stole it for him, but other people who think that, most of those people are probably Democrats or of a Democratic lean, but they didn't go up there and tear down the Capitol, did they? They didn't go and smear feces all over the place, did they? They want us to think that didn't happen. They didn't go and pardon a bunch of people who tried to ruin democracy. No, they didn't. They just dealt with it. We got what we got, and we got to deal with it again. And if he wasn't enough the first time, then something is wrong with you. A person of his age, they're set in their ways. He didn't do nothing the first time but ruin things, so why would he do anything any different the second time? But you have some people who they're misogynistic, so that led their vote. They're racist, that led their vote, right? And you got some who are just jealous. You would be amazed at how many African American women talked about this woman who is half African descent. Talked about her like a dog, called her out her name, all for this clown who took out 5-page ads for your brothers back in the 80s over a crime that they did not commit. So it's like he has the Jim Jones effect without the actual Kool-Aid. He has the Jim Jones effect without the actual Kool-Aid. And it's sad. Your kids probably fit because you probably have a exercise day for the whole house. Lawrence, listen. They be looking at me like, and she come. I'm gonna get the treadmill, Mama. I'm gonna get on the treadmill. Like, when I start asking questions, you know how you can feel the eye roll. They be like, oh Lord, yes. We went so and so. We did so and so. And we was in the weight room, and we was doing this, and we was doing that. But I tell them, I say, listen, I can't make you do anything. Like, I can motivate. Now that's who I motivate. I can motivate you to do it. I can encourage you to do it. I can tell you the benefits of doing it, in which they already know those. But I can't make them anymore. When they're little, you can put them on that routine. And you can hope that they continue the routine once they become adults. So they're on that routine as kids, and so because they're now adults, of course they slack when they want to. But I know that it's been instilled, and I know that they know the importance of it, and they get it in. They get it in when they can. Well, put it like this: not when they can, because when you say when you can, that might be twice a year. So they fit it into the weekly schedule. Sometimes there's more days than others. And so I'm glad about that. I'm glad about that. What's going on, Larry King? I know they do. Everyone, I know, Lawrence, I'm about to get out of here too. It's right at an hour. I was about to say, I think it's almost been an hour, but it is right at an hour. It's right at an hour. Hey, Larry, what's up with you, Larry? What you been up to? I'm gonna chat for a few minutes since we got Larry in here. Then I'm gonna get up out of here, because y'all know what time it is, right? It's time for us to wind this thing down. It's time for me to remind you that you are the best person you can be. There's no need to be anybody else, because guess what? Nobody else has your traits. And for anything that you don't like about yourself, guess what? It's still you. It's still you. You're unique. It's your originality. It's your creativity. You can always get pointers from somebody. You can always do some of the things that you see other people do if those things can help you. But never, ever in your life try to duplicate, replicate, or imitate anybody. All right? Take those cues, take those things that they're doing that you like, and use them to improve your life. But then work on it from there. Most times when you see someone doing something that you like to do, get that, grab it, and do it. But then make that give you the initiative, the push that you need to start doing more things that are more conducive to your lifestyle, to improving your fitness, your health, your mental, right? Because we don't just do this for the physical part, right? We do it for the mental, the emotional, and spiritual, because it's all about the what? Heart, mind, body, and soul, right? Heart, mind, body, and soul. At work. Larry be working, okay? Lauren says, what's up, Larry? Welcome in, brother. Welcome in. Thank you. So listen, don't let people bother you. And I'm telling you, like I said you guys earlier, the app has made me be a little bit more patient. So try to use the app for the good part, the part that you like, okay? And try to take the lessons that you learn from full grown adults. Because like I said, like we're never too old to learn, right? But there are some things that we are too old to be doing, right? When I think of picking and just picking at people, I think of children. That's what we just should discourage amongst children, teenagers. But you got full grown, bouncy women and men being picky, naggy, and they think you're supposed to be good with that. So when you find yourselves in those lounges, what do I tell y'all? If it's a channel, if it's a page, whatever app, church, work, school, civic organization, whatever it is, when you find yourself in one of those lounges where you got full grown people doing some of the most childish things in the way of annoying you, you got to grab your grip and go. Even if you can't leave that classroom, you can ask to sit on the other side of it. You can ask to sit in the back if they're in the front. You can ask to sit in the front if they're in the back, right? Because in the classroom, most class clowns don't like to be on Front Street, right? So you got to get away from the class clown. You got to sit on the front, right? If you know you get sleepy in class, listen, you better wake up, because you don't. Some people, they don't have a problem. Their problem is sitting in the front. Their problem sitting in the front is if they get sleepy, they don't want to get called out. But if you got a class clown in there that sits in the back, you got to move to the front, and you better start learning how to stay awake. Or at least move into the middle of the classroom. Get some distance from them. Get enough distance that when the teacher sees something going down, they saw them come to you, right? Because if y'all sitting back there together, they don't really know all the time. It takes a little investigation, okay? And that's like people. When they don't see what's going on, they don't know for themselves, they want to put their noses in other people's business. They haven't investigated. Because see, investigation isn't just listening to one side. It's knowing the whole situation. So you got to get away from the back of the class and move to the middle of the class or the front of the class. You got to create some distance so that when the teacher does their investigation, they'll know it's not you. And if you decide that you want to stay in the front, like maybe nobody wants to exchange seats with you because nobody wants to be near that person, then just let the teacher know. And maybe you got to stay in that seat, but that teacher will start to do an investigation. And usually the person who's cutting the buck isn't asking the teacher to do the investigation, right? So, that being said, when you find yourself in those lounges and they got those sheep's clothing on and they start to unzip those sheep's clothing and those wolves and fangs and those nails start to come out, it's almost that time of year anyway, Halloween. When that starts to happen, just grab your grip and go. G-Y-G-A-G, grab your grip and go. And if they come into your space, your personal space, or any place where you are, you can tell them to grab their grip and go. G-T-G-A-G, grab their grip and go. You don't have time to waste, right? Thank you guys for those thumbs up. And remember, don't let people bother you. That's easier said than done because they're going to bother you. But you can find a petty way to bother them back, right? If they want to be petty, what are people saying? That when they go high, when they go low, we go high? That doesn't apply anymore in politics. That never applied. For some people in their personal lives, that never applied. So we're going to be like this. When they go low, you meet them where they are, or you go lower. Tell people to leave you alone. Get them up off you. All you should have to do is ask people to leave you alone, right? And what bothers me may not bother the next person, but if it bothers me, then it bothers me, and I have the right to respond the way I do. If it bothers you and it doesn't bother me, guess what? I can't decide how you respond, because I know when things bother me, I'm going to respond the way I want to. I cannot criticize how you react, how you respond, because when something bothers me, I'm going to react and respond the way I want to. That's just how we are. We're different. Imagine how different we are, like from the people in our families. So imagine people we've never met, never will meet. Some don't want to meet, right? Some we would like to meet. We're going to have differences. We're going to approach things differently. I'm about to get out of here. Lawrence says, Lions, we had a great walk and talk. I enjoyed you. See you later. I am sleepy. I know. Listen, Lawrence, I'm sleepy too. But I got to get me some chocolate milk. I'm out of chocolate milk. Thank you, Lawrence, for being here, bro. Lawrence, my brother, my moderator. Okay. All right. I appreciate him. I appreciate him. I truly, truly appreciate him. And I'm about to get out of here too, you guys. Remember, relax, relate, release. Relate to what you can, resolve what you can. What you can't, gotta fix it. Remember who you are. Replenish your heart, mind, body, and soul. Replenish your cup. Re-pour. Refuel. Okay, respect yourself. And command respect from others. And if they don't respect you, you don't have to deal with them. Right? Reevaluate. We're all human. Nobody's perfect. Sometimes you may be wrong. Sometimes I may be wrong. Reevaluate. And even when you're wrong, you still don't have to deal with things or people or places that you deal with because you were wrong in a situation. Because most times if your discernment tells you, well, I might have been wrong about that, but it's still something that's just not right, pay attention to your discernment. Okay? People talk about the third eye, intuition, discernment. Whichever one you go by, whichever one you use it. All right? It won't steer you wrong. Every now and again, like when you're taking a test, go with the answer you chose first. Never change your answer when you're taking a test unless you're absolutely sure. You're absolutely sure that it's wrong, that your first answer is wrong. Right? Never change your answer when you're taking a test unless you're absolutely sure that that first answer is wrong. Right? So y'all know SELF. Self-love, self-motivation, self-determination, self-dedication, self-respect, self-improvement, self-evaluation. All right, that four-letter word, selfish. Four-letter word in front of ISH, selfish. It's okay to be selfish sometimes. All right. I put God first, then family, and me. Okay? But sometimes you got to be selfish and you got to put you first. Because you got to be able to take care of the family the way you would like to. So I will see you guys on the next Let's Walk and Talk in Lions Pride. Tomorrow is Friday. So I don't know. I might not come on Friday, and I might. It's funny. It's just funny. Sometimes people feel like this app is really, truly a job. It is really, it's truly a job. For some people, it is. But you even need a vacation from your job sometimes, right? So I will see you guys on the next one. Remember, peace, positivity, and prosperity. Nobody else determines what peace is for you. Nobody else determines what positivity is for you. They can determine how you react to them, but they can't determine what those things are for you. So peace, positivity, and prosperity. Because without peace, there is chaos. Without positivity, there's bound to be negativity. People live for it. They'll even try to switch your positivity into negativity. Right? So without peace and positivity, you don't prosper the way you would. If you don't have that within. No matter what people think about you, make sure that you have peace and positivity within. And exude that as much as you can outwardly. Peace, positivity, and prosperity. So that you can walk peacefully, patiently, and purposefully into your purpose. I will see you guys on the next Let's Walk and Talk in Lions Pride. Remember, whatever it was today, whatever it was yesterday, whatever it was this week that bothered you, whether it was your family, your friends, your frenemies, your enemies, your work, your employees, your supervisor, your boss. Maybe you are the boss, all right? So maybe you bothered yourself. Try your best not to let people bother you. Get your blood pressure up, all right? Get your cortisol up. Believe it or not, cortisol is a needed hormone, right? Everybody's body makes it. It's just that when it's made too much by certain hazardous situations and issues is when it becomes the problem. That's when it becomes the problem. So I will see you guys on the next one. Bye, y'all.